Good morning, FlossTube. It's Chrissy, finally a farm girl. I am here today, solo, to record a very special FlossTube video as well as throw in some extra tidbits. It has been a long time since I have sat with you guys by myself. So first off, I just wanted to share and express like an absolute thankfulness from the bottom of Linda's heart for all the encouragement you shared on her most recent FlossTube, where she did one herself. I will never ever forget her saying, "I will never do a FlossTube." And yet here she is. So one, it's just one of those things that reminds you to spread your wings, fly, have fun, and live life. We get one shot at this, so enjoy it. And she just absolutely is so inspirational with her stitching and the knowledge that she has. So I just suck it up any chance I get. Okay, going forward, I don't want to spend a lot of time on what I have been doing because I want to give most of my focus to why I'm here today. Charlie's at it again. But I will share, we had a wonderful Easter. It was a little different. Randy traveled to Michigan and had Easter with his mom and his sister and his brother. He has a twin brother, and his brother is actually moving to Florida. So it gave Randy a chance to get up there and visit, as well as help his brother drive down. It's about a 16-17 hour drive from Michigan down to Florida, and nobody likes to make that drive alone, so this worked out really good, a one-way flight, and he helped his brother back. Easter left me with, Philip, and making sure that, my primary job was to care for him, as well as spend some time with the grandkids and my other kids and their significant others, and they really helped pull that together. My dad and Julie helped by bringing the ham, and I didn't want to be hooked to an oven because that's a little bit hard to do with Philip, and I will say it went really well, and we had a really nice relaxing day. I mean, we were eating on paper. There wasn't going to be anything tremendously fancy. We just wanted to enjoy our time, and so we did exactly that. Okay, we are a month out from Nashville Market, and I come back, this is the second year, I came back in the same mood. I am ready to spring clean. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I need a break from stitching or the stitching arena. I don't know what it is, but I always love to take just a break and clean. I picked a project last year and it was to paint. This year I did, I know wallpaper maybe is a thing of the past, but in my kitchen I put up a border with primitive crows, real cute and real simple, and just really gave my kitchen some color that it needed to me. So that was a fun project. And I've also been working on the lanai out here to continue pulling it together, where this will be my focus area. This will be where I store my things. It'll be where I can work, because Philip, this is our area in the summer that he loves to come out to. So half of this lanai is starting to transform into kind of like an old general store, mercantile, and it's been a lot of fun. And how did that get started? Well, I came across Antiquing with Philip one day, an antique store cabinet, and I've always wanted to find a way to divide the room slightly so that it kind of made sense. On the other end, we have where we can sit and eat and watch TV, and down on this end, I still had quite a bit of antiques that I didn't want to get rid of when we moved in. So I have my Hoosier cabinet, I have a big primitive cabinet, I have my spoon cabinets. So eventually you will get to see a little video of that, not in this video, but I had found a antique glass and oak storefront cabinet, and it worked out perfect as the divider. It also has this great ability for me to share and display all of my antiques and some of those being my grandma's and some of those being my mom's. I have taken possession of a few more of my mom's quilts and my grandma's, and so eventually when it is all done, I will share that with you because I have had so much fun. And now I can work towards adding simple little touches that would look like your old mercantile or country store, and I cannot tell you how much I am enjoying that. The quilt behind me, I guess the other side, is the quilt that my mom made years and years ago, patriotic one that I've had, and it is now hanging between two primitive pieces of furniture, and it's just, like I said, it's really taking shape. So that's kind of what I've been up to. Philip has been doing great. Olivia is doing really well working for the pediatric neurologist, and I know I've shared that story with you. You know, again, every time I turn around, I can see where the hands of God have, worked everything out for our good and his good, and I love the children's lives that she's touching, and it's just, it's an incredible journey to watch and to see her excited about something for a mama's heart. It's one of the best things you could ask for. So that is kind of it on our update. I wanted to just get started straight away as to the inspiration behind my latest design and a special release called Dear Soldier. It is sitting behind me, and I will share it up close and personal in just a minute. The story is the fact that my dad had mentioned designing more patriotic pieces, and I absolutely, you know me. I love stitching patriotic, I love designing patriotic, and decorating patriotic. So he had mentioned, we need some more. You need to do some more. And I said I knew what I wanted, it just needed to come together, because what I wanted to do was something a little bit different. Not just focus on Memorial Day or a specific holiday. I wanted to focus entirely on the person who served, whether they are serving, have served, whether they made it home or did not make it home. And that being said, that is why I included the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier in this piece. And I did my history, and if you at all are inclined to look further into it, I mean, I know my dad and my family, some of them, I have never been there, but I have watched people, and I've watched in awe and respect of what happens at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, and I just knew it was an integral piece for me. Now, designing a piece of concrete, that I needed to really work at that and soften that, and so therefore you'll notice, if you've been there before, that there's typically on an easel or a stand a beautiful wreath, and so that is why I implemented so many wreaths into this piece. So your pattern, I'll go through it here. Your pattern for this is going to be the cover, or this is your cover. And on the front it just says, a special pattern designed to honor and give thanks to all who are serving and to all who have served. My dad served in the Navy, and he was on the SSS Enterprise. Sorry about that. And I wanted to make sure that it covered as many of the military departments and services that it could. I wanted an all-encompassing piece, and I hope that that's what I have accomplished. I will give you the details of the design after we get a little bit of a close-up, because what I'd like to do is give you a little bit more information as to how it all played out, and that is the reason for the date first. April 26th is my official release date, where I will share a full release on Instagram, and that is in social media, and that is my dad's birthday. I thought, what an awesome way to honor somebody who sacrificed for our freedom and our country, but to do this special release dedicated to him, as well as release it on his birthday. Now, that doesn't work all the way when you're dealing with LNS shops and all of your stitchy shops who need time to have the supplies. They need time to take your pre-orders. So therefore, I jumped out and went ahead and gave the shops an email with all the details and the patterns so that those that wanted to could take pre-orders and they could get their self in shape for you and for the stitcher. And so that is why it worked out where you will see maybe a full reveal from a shop because they were given permission to use all these photos. It is more of a personal thing for me to say that I am not officially releasing mine until April 26th on my dad's birthday. That is where the date comes from. However, in the meantime, I love the fact that so many pre-orders came in and that so many shops were excited. It truly completes the circle of this journey for me. Why did it mean so much to start? Well, I can give it to you in a small snippet. Have you ever found yourself where you're out and you see a veteran wearing one of his hats and it says veteran or it says Navy or the back of a shirt, and you know that the most you can do at that moment is say thank you for your service? And that is significant, to stop, to take a moment and to say thank you for what they've done and what they've given us. However, sometimes if you're like me, that just feels not enough. Well, first I had to realize there probably is never going to be enough that I can give. But what I always felt like doing was, could I, in stitch, write a letter to every soldier, to others who want to celebrate their family members in a cross-stitch design. That is how it all came to be. That is why it's called Dear Soldier. So if I grab it, let's see here. It does have museum glass, but I'm out on the porch. This is Dear Soldier. Now, the part I absolutely love about this, and I am so excited to hear from so many people that they're going to stitch it and who they're going to stitch it in honor of, because I love those stories. So what I did was I started off, I got to try and see if I can balance this a little bit, is the letter would start up here, and it's basically discussing America. And these little houses in the blocks here, there are homes. They're going to signify America and home sweet home, because that's what we consider it. As you work through the band sampler, you've got some divisions, but the next part is where you can personalize your sampler. So these initials are done in monogram style. I didn't care for it when I designed it with my dad's initials because his initials are Ted. So I love the fact that I was given a great idea up at Market to turn it into a monogram style, and that I loved. So your soldier or sailor is going to be centered between two American eagles, and then this is where I put their dates of service, or my dad's dates of service. So he served for 4 years, 1962 to 1968. And they were serving because we wanted to be the land of the free. Now, that doesn't always work out because we have had significant loss and significant sacrifice, and that is, to me, one of the ultimates is obviously to not return. So the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, I put center stage, and what I did was included the three names, Peace, Victor, and Valerie, because those are the carvings of the three statues on the side of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. And I love how they tell a story of a soldier, or sailor. The next part is, I had so much fun, but I wanted to, if I could, with as much space as I had, I wanted to celebrate the different wars and the different uniforms and the different roles, so in the different services. So you have the American Revolution, you have 2 Army members, the female and the male, and you have 2 sailors, naval, so you've got her, and she is holding, you can't see it from there, but she is holding an anchor, and then you have the male naval represented with a sword. But I also wanted to make sure that I included the nurse. So I'll get a little bit closer. And then, because of these brave souls, I've now got Home of the Brave. And then to end it off, I have 2 more wreaths. And I took my inspiration for the last house from what homes may have or have looked like during the Civil War. What would it have looked like? What would their house have looked like? And in many, many pictures, you will see a cannon in the yard. So left over, either way, what I wanted to do is encompass the fact that this is what we have because of that. We have our homes, our houses, our lives, our land in America because of their sacrifice. So this is Dear Soldier, and it is stitched on Vintage Country Mocha. I picked Vintage Country Mocha because I just think it's just such a nice, beautiful, generic. I used the mottled side. It's a joy to stitch in hand with. It's readily available. So in this situation, I did pick Vintage Country Mocha. Now, there are different dyed flosses as well as DMC. So you've got Weeks Dye Works, DMC, and Gentle Arts. You could, because these colors are relatively simple, I should say, you could easily turn this into all DMC. It would not be hard. Sorry about that. The letters I have included this time around. I made sure that you had an alphabet to, if you choose to personalize. So inside of the pattern is a separate one so that you can use that for personalization. Now, one of the fun things that I did was I worked together with Tina of Team Egner, and I thought because this would be so special and because I knew what happened to me as I was stitching this piece, that I was researching history and when I was designing it, that it was really quite therapeutic. It was really quite a peaceful piece to stitch. So one of the fun things was teaming up with Tina to make it just that much more special for the stitcher. And so we collaborated, and she came out with, hold on a second here, she designed floss drops. Let me put them on. Let's see, I got the white for you. There you go. She designed special floss drops that come with a charm. Make sure I'm getting in there good. They're all separate. They're not just one design. They're all different. And so what happened was, when I sent out my email to the shops telling them about the upcoming special release, I also, for the very first time, thought it was really cool that I could offer for short-term floss drops if they wanted to for their shops. And several did, and I think that's fantastic. I think it's going to be so exciting. I think we got really good feedback from the stitchers who I did see pre-ordering, and I'm so excited that we had this opportunity, to work together and do something. And this was something special to make it special for you. So anyways, these are available through your LNS if they place an order, and it was the same with the pattern. So you're not too late. You can still reach out to all your local LNS or your Stitchy shop. The patterns will soon be with Hoffman and Yarn Tree as well, which are my wholesalers. So it's going to reach everywhere, and then on the 26th, I will I will share a little more of my own and this, in my social media and wish my dad a happy birthday. So I think I've covered everything on Dear Soldier. I have my dad's military papers. I fully intend to, on the back, pick a select few. I have when he enlisted. I have discharged, and I'd like to make sure that what I have is on the back of the piece so that there's something for his grandkids and his great-grandkids, because he has 2 of those, that they can look back and know the history. So I hope you love it as much as I did designing it for him and for you and for every soldier and sailor or every person in the military who has given up and sacrificed for us. This way, it's not just Happy Memorial Day or Happy Veterans Day. It's a piece that I can leave out, that you can leave out all year long and honor your family members. So thank you so much for helping me share this, celebrate this, and I hope it brings a smile and a little bit of comfort to you as well. Now, moving on. I can give you the stitch count too, just if you want it, because it's not terribly big, which is kind of nice. It is 115 by 216. 115 by 216. And it does give you the story and inspiration on the back as well. So I'm excited to see those in shops really soon. And I can't thank Tina enough for taking part in this with me, because she had to cut her little heart out so that she had a good chunk up front, and it's been really fun. So, all right, moving right along, still in the patriotic mode, I am going to go to kind of like a Happy Mail section and haul all at the same time. I am at Sweet Wings Studio at Mac Market, and she had shared in the past that her husband had actually, with one of her designs, she shared that her husband actually authored a book about Lincoln. And I had shared how much I was a Lincoln fan, and so I was gifted from her husband The Mythic Mr. Lincoln, America's Favorite President in Multimedia Fiction. So, I believe what she had said to me is that it's a little bit of a different type of a book on Abraham Lincoln, but I'm very excited and very thankful, and I can't wait to read it. The back says, Honest Abe, the Rail Splitter, the Great Emancipator, Old Abe. These are familiar monikers of Abraham Lincoln. They describe a man who has influenced the lives of everyday people, as well as notables like, and it goes on to list even Winston Churchill. Now, as it goes down in time, it says there's also a multitude of fictional Lincolns almost as familiar as the original time traveler. This book explores Lincoln's evolution from murdered president to a cultural icon and the struggle between Lincoln of history and his fictional progeny. So I think it's going to be an interesting read, and I wanted to share that, and I was so thankful that I have a signed copy from him, and a very sweet card as well from Susan. So thank you so much. Now, next up is, I was given something I hesitated to share, just because, but I share everything with you. So here's what, and have you ever been at Goodwill or whatever, we call them Save the Stitches? You come across something old, and maybe their kids or somebody else didn't like it, but you save the stitch. Well, this isn't a Save the Stitch. This is somebody who kind of donated their finished pieces that were never fully finished. And they came, and it was kind of presented, and I was gifted a piece, and it was one I wanted to stitch, and I gladly framed it, and oh my gosh, it turned out so pretty. But this is Little House Needleworks 13 Colonies. So, not my stitching, but what a phenomenal piece. And both Dear Soldier and 13 Colonies were framed by Mike at Hobby Lobby in Mount Dora. Let's see if I can, there you go, you can see the colors a little bit better on this side. Oh my gosh, I absolutely am so blessed to have been given this, and I was so excited to get it framed. So that is 13 colonies. And I would have gladly stitched it, but I gotta tell you, it was phenomenal to have been given it. Sorry for the bumpies, I just put that down. I'm out on my lanai today. Okay, so those were that. Now, haul, I finally found myself out when I was thrifting with Philip. Just a wooden, I mean, they're there all the time, but I finally grabbed one. But I have tried a couple of different things to hold my drops and my bling. And I don't have everything on here, but if you ever go to StitchCon or you ever go to a retreat, you are going to know that it is pretty essential to have something at home waiting for you. And I constantly kept putting them in a drawer. So I was so excited, and it seems silly, but oh my gosh, I was so excited to get home and start organizing. And I'm not done, but how fun to finally have a place to put all my pretties. So. Okay, now, what have I been working on? I had a finish. I will do that next. I got this at Market and wanted to jump right on it. It is by Stacy Nash, the Animal Crackers, and it is Bobbin the Mouse. And I finished him. I used all the called for. He is like so cute. So you'll notice I did not stitch the berries in it. I don't want the berries in it. If I need to, I can go back later in time and stitch the berry. It was finished as a small pillow or pinkeep next to it. I am going to finish it just where it was in the picture with the sitting on the spool with the thread and then going through. The berry bowl here, I did not stitch yet, but if I want to, I can go back and add it. I want to get to the next. I want to get to the next animal, but I do want him permanently mounted or somehow put on a bobbin like that. So you'll notice I did not stitch the berries, but he's so cute. I did stitch it on an Ada. I don't really know why, but I just needed a little scrap, and I thought maybe he would stand up a little nicer, stiffer. Either way, that's what I did, because stitch on whatever you're happy with. So that was my finish that I have, besides, you know, the fully finished back there. And I had another patriotic. That'll be a summer release. And that is called Let Freedom Ring. And I had a blast with that. I think I stitched it in a week. I was in the mode. I'm still in the mode for patriotic stitching. So I just went with it. I loved the design, and I cannot wait to release that with my summer releases, so it's getting framed right now. Then I just got back into stitching, and I didn't know what I wanted to stitch on, and I didn't want to start something big. The idea is I'm going to go back now to my Brenda Keys. I went to Church Sampler. I want to keep working on that, but I have started a really cool Halloween design. And so I can show you, at least for a little bit, I'll start to show you my progress. This is on Grace Notes fabric, Cafe au lait. And that's what you're going to see so far. Now, it is I'm not going to say it's huge, but it's not small. And it's got some beautiful colors. I can get them separated. I like that. I like that a lot. So I've been enjoying working on some Halloween too. I mean, when don't I enjoy working on Halloween? So that's a fun one, and I can't wait for that. Okay, guys, so thanks for joining me. I will see you in a couple of weeks. Linda is off to Shepherd's Bush. My battery died out there, which I think maybe it might be time for a new laptop. I don't know. Either way, I'm going to say goodbye to you from here, right in front of the patriotic tree. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope that you will consider stitching Dear Soldier. I look forward to seeing you guys in a couple of weeks. And as always, don't forget to floss. Bye, guys.